Teacher told black janitor to solve calculus as a joke. What happened next shocked the whole school. It all started on a mundane Thursday at Eisenberg High in Elkhart, Indiana, when a calculus teacher's cruel jest turned into a moment no one saw coming. Mr. Braddock, known for his sharp tongue, pointed at Lamar Dorsey, the school's quiet black janitor, and challenged him to solve a complex derivative in front of a restless class, expecting a laugh. But Lamar calmly walked to the board, solved it with precision, and left the room stunned. What unfolded next wasn't just a viral moment. It revealed Lamar's hidden past, shifted the school's dynamics, and sparked a movement of respect and inspiration. From a viral video to tutoring sessions, Lamar's brilliance changed how everyone saw him, proving you never know who's holding untapped genius. Hey fam, welcome back to the channel. We're here for stories of grit, guts, and epic comebacks. Smash the subscribe button, hit like, and drop your city in the comments. Fourth period at Eisenberg High was dragging. Students glanced at the clock more than the whiteboard, the air heavy with eraser dust and the faint scent of worn sneakers. Mr. Braddock, 48, the calculus teacher, stood at the front, sharp-tongued, impatient, his sarcasm a daily ritual. He wasn't loved, but he wasn't despised, just tolerated. The board was a mess of derivatives, equations sprawling like a maze, phones hid under desks, some kids pretending to care, others staring out the window, dreaming of lunch. Then, a faint squeak echoed from the hall. Lamar Dorsey, 52, the school's janitor, was mopping, his slow, steady rhythm a familiar backdrop. Braddock paused mid-sentence, glanced at the door, and smirked. "Well, look who's here! Mr. Dorsey!" he called, tapping the board with his marker like a game show host. "Think you can solve this one?" Laughter broke out, not loud, but the uneasy kind that makes you squirm. Braddock grinned. "Come on, Lamar. You always look like you've got something on your mind." Lamar stood in the hallway, mop in hand, wearing his faded forest green uniform, L. Dorsey stitched over the chest pocket. He didn't flinch, didn't blink, just looked into the room. Then, slowly, he stepped in, leaning his mop against the wall. A few students sat up, expecting a quip or a quick exit. Instead, Lamar walked to the front. "You mind?" he asked, gesturing to the board. Braddock raised his brows. "Be my guest." Phones slid out. A girl whispered, "Is he serious?" Lamar picked up the marker, studied the equation, a chain rule problem, and paused, not from doubt but deep thought, like reading a familiar map. Then he wrote, deliberate, no flair. "See, this here's a chain rule problem," he said, voice low, patient. "The trick is isolating the inner function first, makes it cleaner." The room fell silent, just the marker's squeak and a creaking chair as someone leaned forward. Braddock crossed his arms, jaw tight. Lamar finished, capped the marker, and stepped back, his work precise, organized. "That's one way to do it," he said, turning to the class. No one moved. A junior in the back whispered, "He got it right." Braddock's mouth opened, but nothing came out. Lamar nodded politely, grabbed his mop, and walked out, shoes squeaking down the hall, like he hadn't just flipped the room upside down. Then, Wes Hanley, a senior, spoke. "Wait, he just did that in his head?" Braddock's voice was flat. "Well, he got the right answer, but it lacked his usual bite, more confusion than sarcasm." Lamar glanced back. "I spent a lot of time with numbers, a long time ago." They never left. A few kids laughed, not at him, but to break the tension. Phones were out now. Carly Benson, third row, had filmed it all. By lunch, the shaky clip hit TikTok, captioned, "Our janitor just smoked the calculus teacher." It spread. Instagram, local student pages, then a regional education forum. "Yo, he's solving it," a voice whispered in the video, Lamar's hands moving across the board. Teachers in the lounge buzzed. Ms. Lynn, physics, mid-sandwich. He did a chain rule in his head? Mr. Crane, English, nodded. No notes, no pause, like muscle memory. Braddock sat silent, grading papers, as Principal Everett mused, 6 years here. No one mentioned an academic background. Hey fans, before we continue, we've noticed most of you love watching our videos but haven't subscribed. Smash that subscribe button now. Let's keep these stories coming. Lamar didn't know he'd gone viral. He still used a flip phone. He'd been at Eisenberg 6 years, came in early, left late, floors spotless, bulbs always fixed. No one knew much about him, just that he worked in silence. But now, students waited by the janitor's closet, not for brooms, but to talk. A 12-year-old with a geometry book asked, "Do you tutor, Mr. Dorsey?" Lamar chuckled. "Haven't in a long time." "You should," the kid said. That was cool. That afternoon, Principal Everett called him to the office. Lamar walked in, gloves on, uniform damp from cleaning under cafeteria sinks, cap in hand. Everett leaned forward. "Lamar, do you have a background in education or engineering?" Lamar hesitated, dusting off an old memory. "I went to Purdue," he said quietly. "Mechanical engineering, full ride." Everett's eyebrows shot up. "You serious?" Lamar nodded. "Had plans. Things got complicated." Lamar grew up in Gary, Indiana, a smart kid who loved how things worked. Motors, pulleys, anything he could dismantle and rebuild. His mom, Estelle, raised him and his sisters alone, working overtime at a textile plant but always reading to them. "Books first, always," she'd say. "The world will try to shut the door, but bring your own key. They can't stop you." Lamar earned that key. Valedictorian, state science fair winner, a Purdue scholarship. Freshman year, he tutored classmates. Professors noticed him. But sophomore year, a call changed everything. Estelle collapsed at work, late-stage cancer. "I can take care of it," she whispered. He didn't listen. Took a semester off, then another, working warehouse jobs, night shifts, anything to pay bills. School faded. Estelle passed. Dreams scattered. No home, no money, no counselor checking in. "I kept thinking I'd get back," Lamar told Everett, "but life doesn't wait." Everett sat silent. The story was heavy, real. At home, Lamar kept his Purdue transcripts in a box under his bed. A sweatshirt, an old calculator, a photo with his mom at orientation. He never touched it, never threw it away. That night, on his apartment steps, sipping tea from a thermos, he thought about calculus, his last tutoring gig before dropping out. It was back, like an old friend. After Estelle's death, Lamar returned to Gary, sisters in high school, bills piling up. He worked, stockroom loader, strip mall janitor, overnight security, chasing stability, not dreams. He'd call Purdue, ask about reapplying, fill out forms, but never sent them. Then, a break. Frank Booker, a flooring company owner in South Bend, offered steady work. "You're sharp. Don't waste your time pushing brooms," Frank said. But the day before starting, Lamar's sister Alana got in a school fight. Broke a nose, faced expulsion. Lamar had to be there. Frank gave the job to someone else. That door slammed shut. Lamar stopped chasing dreams, took the janitor gig at Eisenberg. Predictable, quiet. He liked it in his way. Numbers never left him. He'd glance at math boards, solve equations in his head, muscle memory sharp. At home, he'd cook, grilled fish, brown rice, flip through an old engineering book just to see if he still had it. He did. He just never had a reason to show it, until Braddock's joke. The video crossed state lines. Online, people were in awe. "Man broke it down cleaner than my professor. Give him a classroom, not a mop." Monday, Lamar fixed a paper towel dispenser, oblivious to his fame. But teachers paused when he passed. Students nodded with respect. Wes Hanley and two others waited by the library, calculus book open. "Would you mind going through this with us?" Wes asked. Lamar sat on the floor, walked them through a multivariable equation, step by step, not talking at them, but with them. Someone filmed it. Lamar wouldn't have liked that. In the office, Everett was on the phone with the school board. "Yes, Lamar Dorsey, 6 years here. Not faculty, a custodian. I'd call it overlooked." In the lounge, Braddock read an email with the viral link, closed his laptop without watching. That afternoon, Everett offered Lamar an after-school tutoring program, small, voluntary, paid. "You haven't stopped knowing," Everett said. Lamar, hands calloused, replied, "I'll think about it." By week 2, Dorsey sessions formed. Students met in the library after school, notebooks open, as Lamar explained concepts with clarity. Isaiah, a freshman who nearly failed algebra, now solved quadratics without panic. Tasha, who hated math, led weekend sessions for her cousins with Lamar's notes. Teachers dropped by. Ms. Lynn adopted his explanations. Coach Rivera asked for a summer prep group. Even Braddock, hesitant, joined, offering problems, encouraging kids, his edge softening. One day, Braddock lingered after a session. "I used to think teaching gave me power," he said. "You've reminded me what it's about, showing up, making it count." Lamar nodded. "We all lose our way." Some parents complained, Is a janitor tutoring appropriate? But Everett shut it down. He's an employee, done nothing wrong. Lamar didn't want a title. When Everett proposed an elective class, he declined. I'd rather keep it simple. Let the kids come because they want to. At the student showcase, Dorsey's table displayed reflections. Students wrote how Lamar helped them see more in themselves, not by giving answers, but by listening, believing. People stopped asking, "Is he the janitor?" They said, "That's Mr. Dorsey." That night, Lamar folded his Purdue sweatshirt, placed it in a bin with student thank you notes. Legacy isn't titles, it's what you leave in others. He'd keep showing up, caring, every Tuesday, Thursday in that library corner, with kids who reminded him of who he used to be. Lamar's journey from a mocked janitor to a school hero shows brilliance can hide in the quietest places. His story isn't about revenge, it's about showing up, inspiring, and proving you're never too small to make a difference. Thanks for listening to Lamar's story. If it moved you, if it reminded you of someone overlooked or who believed in you, subscribe and share it with someone who needs it. Because sometimes the biggest minds are hiding in the quietest places.